Hello, it's Ella from Coretium Media. We are a digital marketing agency working with businesses to help maximise their potential by generating targeted business leads that deliver a real return on their investment. If you'd like to find out how Coretium can help your business, just give us a call on 0207 537 6602 or drop us an email at info@coretiummedia.com. Both of these will be written in the description. Today's video is on education-based marketing, but before I say anything else, I just want to make you aware that there'll be extra resources available in the description of this video. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them in the comments, and I shall do my best to reply as soon as I can, especially on day of upload, or it could be addressed in another video at a later date. So if you think about why people choose to purchase something, it's usually because they have a need for it or they're influenced to buy it. How do you influence someone to buy something? You can educate them, of course. So that's actually the basis of where this video and marketing philosophy comes from. If we go back to the guiding principles on why people use the internet, it's usually for one of two reasons: entertainment or to solve a problem. Now if you think about it, the easiest form of marketing, it really is to solve a problem. And by doing that, you're educating them. By teaching people something they don't know already, you're inspiring them to take action. Good education is key to influencing someone into buying something. So educate them not only to solve their current problem, but lead into additional problems which you have the solutions to, and could probably result in additional sales. I believe that this is the critical foundational philosophy for all types of digital marketing strategies. The power of education lies within building trust. Think back to your childhood when you were growing up. If you were getting taught in a school, often your favourite subjects were usually a result of the teachers. And if you had a teacher that made lessons fun, it inspired you to think more about the subject. You wanted to go to those lessons and learn. It's not only the quality of education, it's also because you trusted that teacher. So bringing that back to marketing, it's the same principle. If you provide education within your marketing resources, instantly you're building trust with the client and they understand that you know what you're talking about. You'll gain the credibility, authority, and they'll trust what you're saying and that your products are of a good value. Right, let's do a really quick exercise. Think about someone you consider as an influencer or a trusted advisor. It could be a member of the family, a work colleague, or perhaps your boss. It can be anyone, just make sure it's someone you consider as an influencer. How do you feel when you think of that person? Does it make you feel safe, at ease, inspired, or perhaps motivated? When they offer you sincere, heartfelt advice, do you usually follow it? And usually if you do, is it without question? You trust that that person is saying things for your benefit and not just theirs. When you take the time to educate your potential clients in the right way, you start to become one of their influencers. You may have heard this term influencer marketing, which has kind of cropped up in the last few years. Good examples are with celebrity endorsements or getting people who are recognised as influential in the industry to mention your product or promote it. When an influencer says something, people tend to listen. Influencers are people who can change the course of action in industries, niches, physical communities, or even just communities in your online spaces. If your potential customers see your business online through your website or perhaps social media presence, think about how you can use this to educate them. If you do, you can get to the stage where they trust you and understand what you're saying, and thanks to this, you become an influencer. Now, they may act upon this immediately, or they may not, but they'll always regard you as an influencer, so you can use repeat marketing and they'll listen to your messages for times to come. Now let's bring this back into the customer landscape by having a look at this pie chart. As you can see, only 3% of the people within your potential clients are actually actively shopping for you. These are the 3% that are typing into Google for the keywords that are relating to your products or services. They're typing in questions along the lines of, how do I solve this problem? Then going somewhere to get the problem solved. Next we look at the 7%. These are the people who are open to you, however they do not necessarily know you exist or that you're good enough to solve their problem. After this comes the 30%. These are people aware for the future, so they understand that there's a problem that needs to be solved, just perhaps not now. After that, we have another 30% who are completely unaware that the problem exists. For example, they could have just started a new business and they perhaps don't realise the financial or legal implications in terms of accountancy. So they just don't know there's a problem there that they have to solve. They have to actually hire an accountant and might just not know it. Then there's the final 30% of people that just aren't open to buying and they won't be interested ever. So if we think about the 67% of your customer landscape that should be marketed to. Now the problem lies in that tiny 3%. Most marketing in most industries is designed to only reach the 3% actively looking for the solution. They try to find people who are browsing the internet that are ready to buy in an instant and just want a quick solution. Business owners do everything they can to try and get the highly competitive 3%, and very few know how to access the whole 67%. When they have a problem to solve and you have the solution, usually all that's needed is a little education to know that they need it, and that you're the right person for the job. So effective education-based marketing informs a huge 67% group of your ideal customers as to why they need you right away. See, if you take your ideal customers from simply being open, aware, or unaware to being actively interested and invested in your solution, you've tapped into the whole market, and that's kind of where an effective content marketing and the whole foundations come together. If you've got the foundations right and you're really trying to optimize your marketing funnel, then you can tap into the whole potential. The thing is, you can be successful only reaching this 3%. I'm not saying that people don't make money. If they do it properly, they can. I'm just saying it isn't really too wise if you're leaving this whole 64% of people from the 67. Imagine if you're taking your client base, your revenue, your profits, any way you want to measure it, and now call that 3%. Imagine you times that all the way up to 67%. How does that affect your bottom line, your customer base, your revenue, profits? Well, I imagine it's at least 20 times your customer base. So, if you're reaching 100 new sales per month, you could be reaching hundreds of new sales per month. So instead of just thinking about your marketing practices and resources on just suiting those who are ready to buy, think about how you can tap into the market that isn't ready. And of course, one of the ways you can do this is by educating them. I wouldn't go down the lines of trying to sell a problem because some people just won't have that problem. But quite a lot of the time you'll find people with related issues. So for instance, let's say someone wanted to increase their search engine rankings. So they type in looking for an article on how to improve my SEO or something similar. Now, a lot of the times they'll think that they just need SEO, but then perhaps they'll visit one of your articles talking about it and realise that, oh, actually, hold on, social signals are playing a huge role in SEO these days. Perhaps I need to invest in some social media marketing or wider practices to increase the diversity of my strategies. They then realise that perhaps going with just SEO isn't the best way of doing it. So there's those kind of situations where people will be completely unconscious. How can you tell them this is a problem that they have? Education. If you were to write a complimentary article at the bottom or in your sidebar with a sort of message saying, hey, did you enjoy this? Then you'll definitely enjoy this other thing we have. Create some sort of interlink between your articles so that when they're digesting one piece of your content, they can link to more of it. The trust you gain has a sort of influencer appeal, and the chances of them being interested in your services will be likely to increase. That's kind of one way of doing it, and it works really well with blogging and the whole content marketing side, because creating resources that teach people is the easiest way to market. Most businesses will fail because they're in a dogfight for the tiny 3% of active shoppers. A great example of this actually is in the e-commerce stores. They're basically designed, or most are basically designed, to capture people whilst they're looking. They'll usually have a good presence on Google, might even have a store on eBay or Amazon, places like that. Then on their main website they'll be aiming to direct traffic to purchase straight away. Now they're only typically tapping into the 3%, and it would be a lot better if they had a section on their website, simply an article or any helpful resource, any sort of wider content marketing strategy that not only advertises and promotes the product, but educates people about the product and or why they're needed. This will attract a wide range of people. Some people struggle to convince their bosses that, or those who invest money into how this is a viable strategy, because it takes a lot longer to digest and won't give them an instant 67% growth in sales. It doesn't work like that. What I'm really trying to say is imagine 67% of people enter your site, but only 3% actually bought something. Imagine being able to turn that 3% into 67. And a way to do this is by creating fantastic resources that educate people on why the products and services are needed, and why other product services are needed that you can refer, recommend, or sell yourself. Are you already doing educational marketing and finding out that it just isn't working so well? Let's have a look at why this might be the case. There are two key elements within education-based marketing. The first most people tend to get right, which is delivering value. Basically have good content. It's easy to go and outsource articles or spin some old information that you could easily find anywhere, but that isn't providing valuable content and isn't going to go anywhere. The information you're providing has to be valuable and to be able to educate. Educate to inspire, inspire to take action. This is one that most people will achieve. They create ebooks, the email marketing series, the templates, webinars, whatever it might be. They spend time making sure that it's good so they know people downloading it are the right people for their product or service. The part that they don't understand is to position the sale. Now this is the other key part if you want to tap into the 67% of your target audience. Most people with active content marketing strategies that are using education as part of their philosophy do not have both. Most of the time they'll focus on delivering value and barely ever position the sale. So let me give you a quick example. A few days ago, a friend of mine was talking to a prospective client over the phone. They were talking about the fact that he was starting a fitness program online. He was a personal trainer and wanted to try and get the one-to-one model to the one-to-many model. He showed them the basic outline of his setup. His landing page offers an ebook on how to lose weight. First instinct was that this is a prime example of not positioning the sale. This is because he has a program online that's all about fitness and a training regime. Then it's kind of disjointed to offer a free ebook on how to lose weight. He isn't positioning the sale properly. It needs to be a natural evolution to digest the content, then take on the offer of his services. It doesn't flow correctly, and this is why he isn't positioning the sale properly. Now, what he could have done is think about another kind of lead magnet. Instead of a free ebook, why not run webinars or hold 15-minute free consultations? This is a way to position the sale properly, and it doesn't have to be articles and blogs and text. It can be face-to-face, it can be testers, it can be all sorts. But you know, by doing any kind of high-value free gift or lead magnet, you're positioning the sale perfectly. Not only are they gaining trust, but it gives them a little taster of what they can expect. The problem he had was the ebook had a group of tips that were probably easy to find elsewhere, and he's basically spending X amount of money on advertising to drive people to his landing page to download an ebook that wouldn't lead on to purchasing his product. He'd basically be paying for unqualified leads that would never lead to the most important part of the funnel, which is the bottom piece, of course, the sale. Understand that what they're providing must be good to attract people, therefore it's common to deliver value. What many don't understand is that you must use your content to position that sale, and it has to be a natural flow from digesting your content to purchasing your product or service. So why do you need an education-based focus? Just really going back over the points I've been saying, firstly, instead of only attracting the 3%, you have the potential to reach 67%. So imagine what that could do to your whole marketing effort. I imagine that I can find a million examples of people who have websites that have a basic buy button or basic inquiries for, and will only ever attract 3% who are actively searching. All the other people who are thinking about it just kind of need pushing over the edge to see it. If you're not attracting and capturing the whole 67% of people, you're basically missing out on a massive potential which an education-based focus will tap into. Trust is important. As an influencer, you can become a business that people trust, meaning not only are they likely to follow your advice and listen to you, but they're also likely to refer and recommend you. You'll see plenty of examples of businesses that attract clients solely on word-of-mouth marketing because their products and services are that good that people are happy to recommend them to others. A good example of this is a friend, actually. She runs a dog-sitting business, basically looking after people's dogs whilst they're on holiday, taking them for walks, pampering them and all sorts. Now, in the way of education marketing, what she does is blog about the dogs. She'll upload photos on Facebook of the dog walks and write articles so that the owners, throughout their time on holiday or when they get back, can see what their dogs get up to and see that they are well looked after. This will gain trust and they'll be more happy to tell their friends / fellow dog owners about all the services. So basically, with little or no marketing, she's built up quite a good customer base. There's something that also needs to be thought about, so not only can you attract 67% of people instead of 3%, you can convert a whole lot more. What you'll find is a lot of people have gone on to, let's say, an e-commerce store, and a lot of the time you'll get people to the checkout process and then they'll cancel their order and navigate off. One of the key things here is converting them. A lot of the time, the biggest reasons people navigate off a page is because of the hidden costs that they didn't realise. Insurance or tax or postage, and they didn't realise it's added and they can't afford it. A way to solve this issue is to educate them beforehand, inform them of any costs, or just don't make any costs hidden. Tell them everything about it and instantly you've educated them to the point where they haven't got to navigate off. The kind of 64% of people that aren't already on your radar and willing to purchase need something else to digest the information. They really need to trust you to get to the point where they're comfortable making a purchase. Really good content that positions the sale purchase will convert people a lot better than just expecting them to know about you. You can't be expecting people to assume you're good in such a competitive market where there are so many people doing the exact same thing. There's so much choice online, it's easy to just find some reviews and use those to help make a decision. Good reviews are one of the reasons that this is the time you need to stand out. Have really great content that educates, and you'll find that your conversion rates will go through the roof. You'll attract more, you'll retain them more, and you'll use them as they'll be happy to refer and recommend and repeat purchases. You'll have loyal customers, you'll convert those that haven't, and you'll be tapping into people that you weren't before and converting at a better rate. So a quick overview of some key takeaways here. Education leads to inspiration and builds trust. When you educate people, you tell them something that they don't know, it solves their problem. Not only does it build trust, but they get inspired and motivated to go out and do it. You'll see this all the time with not only inspirational videos, as this is kind of an easy option, but times where someone's told you about how you can increase your conversion rates. Most of the time you're going to read the content, and if it's from someone who's already given you great content that has already worked, you're usually not even going to go and question it. You're just going to go and do it. You might jump on it straight away and try it out as you have been inspired to take action. It positions you as an influencer. As soon as you've been positioned as an influencer, that person will listen to actions, they will listen to your advice, and they will click on links from tweets from you, read your Facebook posts, your blog articles. If you send emails about promotional offers on new products, the likelihood is that they're going to go and at least check them out. You position yourself as an influencer amongst your potential customers and things are bound to go well. We have already established that only 3% are actively looking for you, so if you kind of get your head around that and understand that perhaps so far you've only been tapping into those that are quite likely to find you, you can be found as kind of stage 1, because getting an online presence and getting an awareness is stage 1. Stage 2 is making sure that you not only are converting all 3% of them, or a very high percent of that, you're tapping into the other 67%. You're tapping into all those people that aren't just going to visit your website and click a buy button and make you money. You just have to persuade them or influence them or educate them. And educational marketing enables you to convert better. Imagine, for instance, on a yoga course. So they are selling yoga classes and they take bookings online. A lot of the time, people, when they find this sort of thing already, are already looking for yoga classes. They are the 3% of people looking for a yoga class in their area. They find one, they're very likely to be the active shoppers. Now, if I choose people looking for weight loss or related things, they come across your website and now they probably don't know a lot about yoga or the health benefits or other benefits that come with it and don't know the social elements. Now, if you can educate them on that, even if it's just the basic marketing messages or a lead magnet or high value free gift or educational videos, that kind of tells them about all the benefits of yoga and the people that can understand the benefits of the products. You're calling to the other 67% by doing this. You're going to convert at a much better rate, and the tiny 3% of people are not the only ones you'll get. With that, this video has come to an end. So thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe because we'll be posting videos each week. Leave a comment down below if there's something you want us to discuss in a video, or perhaps you have any questions. And don't forget to take a look in the description for our contact details and any additional resources. Thanks again for watching, and goodbye.